All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about a feeling, a really powerful feeling that, let's be honest, anyone who's ever placed a bet knows all too well. It's that little surge of confidence, right? That gut feeling that tells you you've cracked the code. Today, we're going to dissect the psychology behind that, especially when it comes to sports betting.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? You've been studying the stats, you've watched all the highlights, and you've completely convinced yourself that this time it's different. All that work, all that knowledge, it's giving you a special edge. It's not a guess anymore. It feels like a conviction.
So let's explore this sure bet feeling. I mean, where does this absolute certainty even come from? It feels so real, like this sharp intuition, almost like you can see the outcome before the game even starts.
But here's the twist. What if that powerful gut feeling, that intuition, isn't quite what it seems? What if it's actually a clever trick our own minds are playing on us? Because believe it or not, psychologists have a specific name for this little mind game. And here it is. It's called the illusion of control. This is the big idea we're going to unpack today, and trust me, it's a powerful bias that has a huge effect on our decision-making, especially when there's money on the line.
So what is it exactly? Well, it's a cognitive bias that makes us seriously overestimate our ability to control things. It tricks us into believing we have some kind of influence over outcomes that are, in reality, either totally random or, at the very least, heavily influenced by chance.
And the why behind this is really fascinating. Our brains are hardwired to see patterns and to want control. We just fundamentally hate randomness. Why? Because it makes us feel powerless. And the world of betting, well, it thrives on that very discomfort.
Now, this is where sports betting gets particularly tricky. It's not a game of pure chance, like spinning a roulette wheel. Of course not. There's real skill involved, there's research you can do, and there's logic. But it's that exact mix of skill and luck that makes the illusion of control so incredibly powerful.
This right here perfectly illustrates our brain's big miscalculation. On one side, you've got all the stuff you can research and analyze, your so-called skill. That's where you feel in charge. But on the other side, you've got pure, unpredictable luck. A star player who had a terrible night's sleep, a single blown call from the ref. I mean, think about it. A sudden gust of wind can change the entire game on a field goal. Your brain gives way, way too much credit to your skill and not nearly enough to the thousands of random things that can go wrong. And this is where it gets dangerous for your wallet. When a bet loses, the illusion of control swoops in to protect your ego. Instead of just admitting that randomness wasn't on your side, you tell yourself, I just misjudged that one little thing. I was so close. I'll definitely get it right next time. And that's what leads so many of us to double down, just chasing that feeling of being in control. Okay, so this doesn't mean you should just stop betting forever. Not at all. It just means we need to shift our entire approach. It's not about working harder or analyzing more stats. It's about understanding our own psychology and betting smarter. Man, this quote is so important. The pros, the really successful bettors, they've all learned this lesson. They don't try to fight against chance. They understand it, they respect it, and they've factored into every single decision they make. They're managing risk, not trying to pretend it doesn't exist. So here's a practical tool for you. Before you place your next bet, just pause for a second and ask yourself this one honest question. Is this decision truly based on data and probability, or is it really an emotional move to satisfy that deep need to feel in control of what happens? So, it all comes down to shifting to a strategic mindset. Step 1, you have to actively question your own confidence, especially when you feel the most sure of yourself. Step 2, always, always respect the huge role that randomness plays in every single game. And third, focus only on what you can actually influence, managing your decisions, your bankroll, and your emotions. And this right here, this is the ultimate takeaway from this whole thing. You will never, ever be able to control the outcome of the game. It's impossible, but you have absolute 100% control over yourself, your research, your choices, and how you react, whether you win or lose. Focusing on what you can control, that's where the real strategy is. That's where the real power is. So I'll leave you with this one final thought. In a world that's full of randomness, what will you choose to truly control?